Hello guys, I'm back guys. Sorry about that me being late. Sorry about that guys. I was doing something important. But now I'm here. Yeah, I'm here to do the player ratings for the first half of the season. But before I start the player ratings, right? One person didn't really like to do the calling show at 8 o'clock. Or the only way I'm gonna decide when I'm gonna do the play when I'm gonna do the calling show. There's a link in the description. There's a poll there. Click on it. Click on the link and vote on what time you want me to do the player ratings. That's all you have to do. So yeah, make sure you vote, and I'm gonna leave it until the end of this month, and that is when That's when I'm gonna pick when I'm gonna do the when I'm gonna what time when I should do the thing, the calling show. So that's it, guys. I already mentioned it. Now let's head into the player ratings. So let's start with the goalkeepers in the first half of the season. And I'll tell you guys this. I'm not going to rate the keepers high if they if I'm not going to rate the players high if they don't play enough games. So yeah. Anyway, let's start. So the goalkeepers. Let's start with the main one, Alisson. For me, one of our best players in the first half of the season. One of our best players, right? He made a lot of good save on this season. I can't remember apart from the yesterday's game against Man United when he made that mistake, that bad mistake for the second goal. He should have done better. I don't understand why the Liverpool fans criticizing him for the third goal. For me, he didn't really do. I can't really blame him for that. It's the second that I'm more blaming. But I can't remember the last time he made a mistake. So for me, Alisson has been one of our best players. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10 so far this season. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Alisson. Kelleher, for me, Kelleher has done pretty well in the Champions League. I remember against Ajax when he was the goalkeeper for against Ajax. He was absolutely brilliant that night. He was absolutely brilliant. And he didn't really put a foot run, I have to be honest. He didn't really put a foot run. Run. Run, sorry. So for me, I'm not going to give him a high score because he didn't really play a lot of games. But I'm going to give him I thought he done a decent job, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Kelleher. Adrian, I'm sorry. For me, this season, atrocious. Not good enough for me. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give him a. I'm gonna give him a 1 out of 10. I thought he was by far our worst goalkeeper. So I'm going to give him a 1 out of 10. I'm talking about his overall performances so far, and he gets a 1. Not really been impressed with him, so he gets a 1. I think I've done the goalkeeper. I think I'm done with the goalkeepers. Um, right backs who play that right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. For me, even before he had the injury, he wasn't that good defensively. And in fact, he hasn't been that good this season overall. So, sorry, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has been one of our worst players this season. The amount of times that he spams the crosses, but he doesn't. He end up wasting these crosses. And defensively this season, I haven't been impressed with him. So sorry, but I'm going to give him a 3. One of our worst players. 3 out of 10 for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Reese Will Nico Williams, sorry, at right back. Again, didn't really play enough games. I'm gonna give him a 3 as well for Nico Williams. He hasn't been that good, so I'm gonna give him a 3 out of 10. For me, though, James Milner, he did play at right back before, and for me, he has been our best right back. He has been our best right back. I'm going to give him, but he hasn't played enough games, so I'm going to give him a 5. For me, in terms of consistency, in terms of very good performances, not how much games he played, it's how much good performances. For me, James Miller has been our best right back, and I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 5 for James Milner. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 for James Milner. Who else played at right back? No, I think Simic has never played at right back. No, I think that is all the right backs are rated. Right, centre backs. Let's start with the injury in the players who are injured. Virgil van Dijk. For me, didn't really do put fault wrong. I'm not going to rate him high because he's injured in it. I'm not going to rate him high though. So because of that, I'm going to downgrade him a little bit. But from the start of the season, before he got injured against Everton, he was absolutely brilliant for us. He was absolutely brilliant, Virgil van Dijk. He was brilliant again. And for me, I'm going to give him a 7 because he had a very good start, but I cannot give him more than that. So I'm going to give him a 7 because he's injured and he's out for a long time. So I can't give him a very high score. But I thought he didn't put a foot wrong, so he gets a 7 out of 10 based on the first half of the season. So he gets a 7. Van Dijk. Gomez for me, he for me not great. I remember him when he was playing in the beginning of the season before he got injured. I thought he was absolutely terrible. I have to be honest. He was making mistakes after mistakes. I remember me keep on saying that we need to drop him because he hasn't been that good. He hasn't been good enough. He's been making mistakes. So for me, Joe Gomez, 4 out of 10 for Joe Gomez. I thought he had a bad run, so he gets a 4 out of 10. Matip, for me, has been one of our best centre backs, but he's getting injured, so I cannot really rate him high because he keeps on getting injured. But he didn't put a foot wrong. He didn't really put a foot wrong. So I'm going to give Matip I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. When he played for us, he done a decent job. Decent job. It's just the injuries that keeps on fitting. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for Joel Matip. And then the current centre backs that we still have to play, Fabinho, absolutely brilliant. I thought for the whole season, all right, apart from the game against Man United we just had yesterday, he was atrocious. But defensively this season, he has been one of our best players. He has been one of our best players. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Fabinho. I thought he's nothing but absolutely flipping brilliant. Fabinho has been one of our best players. He gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Absolutely brilliant so far this season. Let's start with the 2 young players. I mean, let's talk about the 2 young players that we have to play because our main centre backs are injured. Reece Williams, he done some decent stuff. He did have some good performances, but the game against Manchester United, the game just gone yesterday, he was shocking. And the game against I think it was Fulham. I think he played against Fulham. I thought he was poor in that game as well. So because of that, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 4. I'm going to no. Should I? No. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 for Reece Williams. For me, he's just not good enough for Liverpool FC. He's just not good enough. He shouldn't be playing in this level. And he got exposed yesterday against Rashford and all them players and Greenwood. He got exposed yesterday. But I'm rating him for his season so far, and he hasn't been. He put some good performances, but we can't allow him. So I'm gonna give him a 4 out of 10. Um, for me, um, Phillips, Emmanuel Phillips, I'm going to give him a 5. I thought he has been a bit better than Reese Williams. I have to be honest. But again, the guy he can't head the ball, man. You can't position yourself. Again, the guy is just not good enough, man. I'm just gonna have to rate him based on his performance so far. So I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for Phillips. Give him a 5. Um who else played at centre back? All right, Hedgeson did play at centre back, but not enough. He has to, at least 5 games to even rate him. And Hedgeson he hasn't played there for 5 times. He didn't play 5 times at centre back, so I'm not going to rate Hedgeson in that position. Right, who else who played at centre? I think that was all the centre backs. I think that is all the centre backs are rated. Right, left backs. Robertson, 9 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant, super consistent. Him, and for me, Fabinho has been the main two players that they were the main two players for me. They were absolutely brilliant. But Robertson, back to Robertson, yeah, Robertson was flipping brilliant, man. I can't remember. All right, apart from the 2 games that he had been poor against Burnley and Manchester United, he has been our best. How he has been our best player alongside Fabinho. So I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10 for I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10 for Robertson. Simicaz, I can't rate him. I don't think he played enough. So I'm not going to rate Simicaz. Right. I think that is the James Milner did play there, but I think he played more as a right back. So I already rated Milner anyway this season, so I'm not going to rate Milner. I just rated Milner, I should say. Yeah, I think that is all the left backs we used this season. Right. Now we're heading to the midfielders. Let's start with the DM. Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, I'm going to give him a. I'm going to give him a 5. Some good performances from him, but not the most greatest performance from him. He hasn't been our best player. I have to be real. Wijnaldum has done. He's been hit and miss this season, so I'm going to give him a 5. 5 out of 10. Um, Let me see who played that DM. Thiago used to play that, but I'm not really gonna rate. He's more like a deep lying playmaker, so I'm not going to play. I'm not gonna rate him in that position. I think Ronaldo is the only player that played that position most of the time. I think that's it. I can't remember who else played there. So yeah, Jordan Henderson. I'm gonna give him a 7. Decent job. He put some good performances, but not my best player for me this so far this season. Not our best player for me. Not our best player. So I'm going to give him a 7. Nothing wrong, but not our best player. Um Thiago, since he came in, absolutely brilliant. I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Thiago, absolutely fantastic. One of our best, for me, our best midfielder by far. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Absolutely brilliant. I was so unlucky that he got injured. He got injured against Everton, and then since he came back, he's just been absolutely brilliant. So I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for um I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10. Who else? I don't think James Milner played there enough. So who's the midfielders? Ronaldo, I said Ronaldo, Hedgerson, and Thiago. Let's Naby Keita. Let's start with the injury-prone players. Did Naby Keita even play enough? I don't think he played enough, so I can't rate Naby Keita. Oxlade-Chamberlain, again, I can't rate him enough as well because, again, he's injured a lot of the time. And Shaqiri. What about Shaqiri? Again, he didn't really play that much this season, so I can't rate him either in midfield. No, I can't rate Shaqiri. There's a Curtis Jones, that's it. I think Curtis Jones done a decent job, to be fair. I'm gonna give him a 6. Curtis Jones done decent. He's decent, but not our best midfielder. In fact, he's not even better than Hedgerson this season. So I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Done a decent job, but the mistake against West Brom, what was he doing for that? But nothing. He didn't really do anything wrong. But it's just, again, I'm gonna give him a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for Curtis Jones. I think that is all the midfielders. I think that is all the midfielders. I said Wijnaldum, Naby Keita, Hedgerson, Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Shaqiri and Curtis Jones. I think that's it. I think I've done all the midfielders, guys. I think, yeah, that's it. Right. The front three, the attacking three. Salah. I'm going to give him a 7. The reason why I give him a 7, he's not going to get higher than that because, yes, he scored 19 goals this season. Great. And that's why I'm going to rate him a 7 out of 10. But if you actually look at the performances from Mohamed Salah, he hasn't been our best player. Let's be real. Every time he has the ball, he gets tackled all the time. And it's like he can't dribble past players anymore. It's so frustrating. Even though he scored 19 goals, and you got to give him credit for that, but he hasn't been our best player this season. But again, he hasn't been our worst player. So I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10, Mohamed Salah. And that's why I'm boosting top to 7 because he scored 19 goals. So fair play. But his general play, he needs to improve. Right. Left-hand side, Mane. Mane, I'm going to give him a 7 as well. I don't think he was that good this season. He hasn't been that good. I'm going to give him a 7 as well. 7 out of 10 for Sadio Mane. I'm going to give him a 7. Who else played on the left? I think that is it. I think. Oh yeah, Origi he does play on the left, and for me, he has been pretty poor on the left. Oh yeah, I've forgotten about Origi. Origi for me, poor. Not just the goals he scored, even though I don't think he's even scored a goal yet, but his overall play. I have to be real, he has been poor. I'm going to give him. Yes, he didn't play enough games, but that's why I'm not going to give him a 0 because it wouldn't be fair because he didn't play a lot of games, but the games that he played on the left, I'm sorry, poor. I'm gonna have to give him a 3. I'm gonna have to give him a 3 out of 10. Not just the goals and assists, but his overall game. And for me, he hasn't been good enough. So I'm gonna give him a 3. And then Firmino, Roberto Firmino. Sorry, I have not been impressed with him this season. One of our worst players, right? Absolutely shocking. I'm sorry. I don't care. No pressing, nothing. He hasn't been the same. I don't care if he got the 2 assists against Man United recently. I don't care. It's not acceptable. I can't remember. He scored 2 against Crystal Palace, right? He scored 2 in that against the Crystal Palace. What else? I think he only scored 4 or 5 goals, and he played a lot of games this season as well. And for me, I'm sorry, no, he's not going to get away with it because he's not scoring enough goals and he's not helping the team. I'm going to give him a 3. Nothing. One of our worst players this season. I'm going to give him a 3. Poor. Absolutely poor, man. So that is, who else played up front? Origi did play up front, but not enough. Oh yeah. Why not rate the manager? I think I've done all the players, I think, who played a lot of decent amount of games this season. So yeah, I think I'm done with the players. Now I'm heading to the manager. Let's start with the positive. We're still in the Champions League. That's an extra point. So so far that's a positive, right? We were challenging for the title until recently that we've fallen off. So I'm going to give him another point. But I can't think any other positives so far this season. I have to be honest. Apart from the Champions League one, when we won it comfortably, we got knocked out in the League Cup against Arsenal, one of the flipping crappiest teams. We lost to Arsenal in the League Cup. Then yesterday in the FA Cup, we lost to Manchester United, right? We're pretty much out of the title race. So I'm sorry, man. Overall, even though the Champions League, we qualified to the next round, I'm gonna have to, and also I have to question Klopp's team selection for the last 8 games. It's questionable. I'm sorry, it is questionable. You can't be putting Origi on the left all the time. There's certain players that shouldn't be playing right now. They should have been dropped. Like, for example, Roberto Firmino. Absolutely rubbish for weeks. He's been rubbish, and he's still playing him. Trent Alexander-Arnold, another player that is just ain't good enough. Then he keeps on putting the young players who are just not good enough. Not necessarily the Manchester United game. There's some other games that he put youngsters instead of experience. And I'm like, what are you doing, Klopp? What are you doing? So for me, overall, I'm going to give Klopp a 4. I'm going to give him a 4. Or possibly, no, I'm going to give him a 3. I'm sorry, but Klopp he hasn't helped himself. So I'm going to, for so far this season, I'm going to give him a 3. 3 out of 10 for Jurgen Klopp. And as for the flipping owners, 0. Absolute flipping knobheads, these owners are. The flipping jokers. I'm giving them a 0. Flipping jokers. Don't back him. Flipping 0. They're getting a 0 anyway. Flipping shocking owners. Right? They're flipping terrible. Right? They don't want to back the manager. Back the manager. I'm sick and tired of me repeating myself about that. These flipping cheap flipping bastards. I'm sick of it, man. Typical. So sorry, FSG, they're getting a 0 for not even helping Klopp. They're getting a 0. Let's be real, yeah. I'm not giving them no credit. Reason why they appointed Klopp in the first place, because he was available at the time in 2015, October 2015. Let's be real, they appointed him because he was available. I'm not giving them no credit. I'm giving Michael Edwards and Jurgen Klopp. I'm giving both of them credit for they have absolutely revolutionized our club. Absolutely revolutionized our club. Right? The reason why FSG is not getting a slack for all these years, because Klopp has he has fixed all the weak, spineless mentality players, sorted out, get rid of the weak mentality players and bring players who will fight for the shirt. So I am not giving FSG credit. They appointed him because he was available. They didn't look and see that he was the right. Yes, he is the right man for the job, Jurgen Klopp, right? But they'll just look at him to see that he's a. They'll just look at him. You know what they did? They just looked at him and said that, yeah, you're good enough, but not understanding what Liverpool's actually, what they actually, we actually mean. We're supposed to be playing attacking football. That's what I'm saying, man. Like FSG, if let's say if Roy Hodgson was in, or not Roy, let's say it was flipping what's his name, Sam Allardyce. If Sam Allardyce was there, I think they would have appointed him because they don't have a flipping clue about football. Then I would have been deadly against that appointment. I would not be happy with that appointment. But FSG is one of those. They are one of those owners that they'll just appoint. They'll just appoint managers for the sake of it. They're just going to appoint a manager. They don't care what kind of type of manager they just hire a manager. That's what they do, and that's why I don't want them here. What happened if Jurgen got pleased, yeah, and they end up bringing on somebody that don't want to play attacking football? That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want them here. I do not want FSG here. I don't want them here. They are not winners. And have you noticed that the three biggest clubs in England? Why is it that all of them haven't been very successful for the last 7 years? You know why? Because these owners are flipping useless. All of them are Americans. All of them. They're all flipping useless. The biggest three clubs in England are not as successful in the last 15 years, right? Because of these freaking owners. The clubs are owned, right? These freaking owners don't have a freaking clue about football. The Glazers are a piece of crap. I don't care about Man United, but what they're doing to Man United is disgusting, man. Flipping the Stan Kroenkes for Arsenal. Stan Kroenke, another piece of crap owner that doesn't care about the fans. And then we got FSG. Flipping jokers, man. All of them. And why is it that all of them are from America? Why? They don't have a freaking clue about football. The majority of American businessmen, a lot of them are they don't have a flipping clue. They don't have a flipping clue about football. Why are they flipping managing these Americans managing the top three biggest clubs in England? Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal. Why? It's just flipping taking the flipping mick, man. Anyway, man, I'm flipping done with this. I've done the player ratings, right? I'm flipping done, man. I'm sick and tired of the ownership from our club, man. I'm sick of it, man. No leadership, no flipping leadership from them. Back the manager. He has been our successful manager in the Premier League era since Kenny Dalglish. And they don't want to back him. They don't want to bring him a centre back. Any centre back who was not injury prone and is not expensive. Just get an emergency centre back, like what we did, Stephen Colker in 2017. We signed him for only 6 month loan deal. Why not just do that again? Because we are struggling. We don't have Van Dijk. We don't have Van Dijk. We don't have Gomez. We don't have and Matip's going to get injured all the time. We need a centre back, man. We need a centre back. We need a centre back. I'm sorry, we do need a centre back. It's not good enough, man. So the owners have to back Klopp. I'm sick and tired of keep on repeating myself. FSG have to back him. Otherwise, Klopp he's going to end up getting frustrated and he's going to end up leaving the club because the owners are just not backing him. And then I will be absolutely peed off from the owners. I will be absolutely angry at them because they're not backing. No matter how good the manager is, they'll still not back the manager. Not just the finance, Don't back him, not just the finance, but you got to back in terms of players that he wants. If he wants that player, even though you got the money, but if you don't want him to back the type of player that he wants, and you don't want to spend it because you see the player's crap, you don't know. He might be good. The player might be good. So flipping back him right now and get him a centre back. He deserves it. What he has done for our club, he revolutionised our club. He changed the mentality. Go and get a centre back right now. If they don't, I swear down, yeah, I'm gonna go flipping mad at them. Anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna be going now, but before I go, there's a link in the description. Click on it, and there's a vote. What time do you want me to do the player ratings? Just go on the link in the description and click on it, and I'll leave it until the end of the month, and that is when the poll. That's when it finishes. I'll leave it until the end of the month, and then I'll pick the time when I do the calling show. So yeah, man. I mean the calling show, not the player rate. What am I on about? I mean the calling show. What time you want me to do it? What time you want me to do the calling show? That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's it, man. That is it. I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.